Hello everybody, this is the video for the end of week 2 stuff. So we're getting into week 3. This is going to be the week where we're going to have our first test, okay? But before I get into that, I want to go ahead and discuss a couple things about the grading. At this point, I think I'm done grading up to about section 3.2. And a couple notes that I've noticed in terms of the stuff that's been graded already is a lot of you guys have not completed the entire lecture questions. Remember, I'm grading only one or two problems fully, okay? And if you just miss that problem, if you don't turn in that problem, you're going to get a 0 for, the points that are assigned to that problem. So it's to your benefit to do all the problems, even if it's not correct, even if you don't know if the answer is correct or not. Give it a shot. You'll get points for the attempt, and whatever progress that I see that is, toward a solution, you'll get more points that way than just leaving it completely blank. Okay. So now about the exam. So I want to break up the exam into two portions: the practice exam and the actual exam. Okay. For the practice exam. Okay, let me start with the practice exam. For the practice exam, no proof of work is required. So you don't have to submit any written out work for your problems for the practice exam, okay? But get into the habit of doing so, because for the actual exam, you will need to show proof of your work, okay? There's 10 attempts for the practice exam. The highest grade sticks. So if you got, the first time around, you got a 95 out of, you got a 95%, and the second time around, you got an 80%, the first 95% is the one that sticks, okay? It is due by the end of Thursday, okay? The test is timed at 2 hours, so make sure that you're able to sort of set aside a good 2 hours in order to take the test, the practice exam, okay? And overall, the practice test, I made the test first, and then I made the practice exam. So they're supposed to look exactly the same, okay? Now, on to the actual exam, okay? For the exam, you are required to show proof of your work, okay? And it's got to be, your proof has to at least hold water to, whatever problem you're doing. So within the practice exam, make sure that you are sort of really being nitpicky about every single little step, okay? Because you are going to have to show proof for it for the exam, okay? Like I said, the test itself is timed at 2 hours, okay? You can take it at any time before Friday midnight, okay? So once you hit that start button, the timer's running. So make sure that when you get to the test, you have yourself a good 2 hours sort of set aside for yourself where you can just concentrate on this test, okay? To get the full time, make sure you start it at about 10 o'clock. So you have until midnight to finish it, okay? For the actual exam, you only have one attempt, no exceptions, okay? And this sounds, I think, appropriate since I'm giving everybody 10 attempts on the practice exam. So if the practice exam worked for you 5, 6, 7, 8 times, then the one attempt for your test should also work, okay? And for the structure of the test, it's everything up to chapter 3, okay? The problems will be randomized. Same thing as in the practice exam. So one version of your practice test, right, might not look anything close to the other portion of your your other version of a practice exam. The questions will keep changing. So you need to be able to show, right, the work for every single sort of randomization, okay? Make sure you're able to do the work on the problems, okay? And that's it. One big sort of point of note that I've seen with this kind of test in the past is people not following directions of the problem to the letter, okay? And this is also what I've seen in the grading for your lecture questions and for your quick checks. If the problem states do it by the limit definition, right? If it's asking you to find the derivative using the limit definition, you're not allowed to use the shortcuts. You have to do it with the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. You have to do it that way. I need to make sure that you can do that algebraic manipulation because that's crucial when you move on to Calc 2. Okay. Besides that, I think that is it. In terms of the big thing about exams, one more thing about sort of my schedule. Up to the second week now, I have not seen anybody request appointment times outside of my drop-in lab times and Zoom times. And I am present at around 3 o'clock to about 5. So instead of having that, sort of hours by appointment sort of scheduled later, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend my time from instead of 3 to 5, make it 3 to 6. Okay. So from here on out, my Zoom room, I'm going to be in my Zoom room. And in the math lab in person, if you guys want to come talk to me from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. Okay. If there are any questions at all, as usual, send me an email. I usually look at my email right before going into my Zoom room from that 3 to 6, so about from 12 to 3. That's where I'm checking my emails. So if you got any questions, email, discussion board, or drop in my Zoom room. Okay. Hopefully everybody's doing all right. I've looked at least the online process or the online assignments, and they're looking pretty good. You guys are making very good progress on them. Okay. Besides that, I hope to see you guys, and good luck on studying.